Hi, I'm Paul Roberts. This is Conscious Counseling 101, and this is a fun little one. Somebody writes in and says, I live in one state and a woman I'm talking to lives in another. We met in high school, we're out past college age now. I've been talking to this woman for close to a year now on the phone. It started out sporadically, then she started asking me to call her the next day, then the next. Now she has me trained to call every day. It feels like I have a girlfriend. I don't call my friends every day. During a visit, I told her I think I'm falling in love with her. Her response was she has a love for me. What am I supposed to do with that? I love it when I get a question that isn't life or death, but you're just reaching out to me as a friend. And I want to be a friend, and I am a friend to anybody that needs one. I'm looking into this little camera lens thing right now. I don't know what you look like. I don't know about your life story. But you cared enough to ask. You cared enough to want to see what I might have to say. I had very little to go on. But hey, you know what? I'm probably as solid as any of the friends you have. Because I literally am living for this thing that I do. Okay? For whatever good comes of it, whatever good doesn't come from it, just as a thing that's offered to people, if they should be so inclined to desire it and want to use it. So today I'll just talk to you as a friend, like we're out at a pub, if I was just your next door neighbor, whatever. What would I say about these things? And there's lots I could say, and I don't know what I'm going to say at this minute. I'll probably talk for 15 minutes because that's as long as the phone will allow me to upload. And I'll just do it because you asked. I'm going to give you the most I can give you in this brief introductory video. If you like listening to me, looking at me, and talking with me and saying, hey, he's just like a regular guy. He just happens to have this in-between thing that's in between us here. I'd like to talk more. Well, I can do that too. Or if you say, oh, what a bunch of waste. You don't even watch it all the way through the video. Okay, but I'm genuine. I want to reach out to you. So let's start off. Okay. Start off with the most cliche way to go. You've heard, if you love something, set it free. If it comes back, it's yours. If it doesn't, it never was. Okay, anybody can say these things. But this is a time for you to realize, I've been married 31 years, okay? I've had ups and downs. We've worked towards so many things together, and we've had so many obstacles. It hasn't been easy. I look like an artist, don't I? I got long hair. I didn't always have long hair. I go in stages. Right now, that's just what I'm doing right now. But we did. We met in art school, and we thought differently than many. And I asked you about if you had a religious preference. I was going to talk about that, but it's not necessary for this first opening video. However, we did have a religious preference. We decided that we were going to try to figure out what God would want from His creation, and we were going to try to be that, or whatever. And you can't know. You can just together accumulate whatever views you find and discuss them and talk on them. But that's just me. You're you. This is your time where you've got nothing to lose. Find out whether you're actually becoming codependent. Find out whether this person's just a user. Go ahead and test the water. Don't do what she wants. Do what you are and what you want. And like I said, if it was yours, it'll come back to you. And if it wasn't meant to be, don't worry about it. This is your chance to test that out. Be everything you are. See how the other person reacts. If you're thought of lesser or discarded or anger comes up because you aren't doing what they want, do you want to enter into that? Now's the chance to test those waters. Is this a tendency for this other person to be codependent and try to make you that way too and bring you into her qualities? When you're married, what you want to ultimately do is try to help each other be the best version of yourself you can be. If she's already trying to make you something you're uncomfortable with, it makes you more like her. Maybe that's not the best thing you should be doing to start a relationship or to see whether there's more here, where you ask, what am I supposed to do with that? I would use it as, hey, you're distant. I would use it as, hey, let's see what the foundation is that we're standing on. Let's test it. Let's don't do things to be making her angry. Don't do things to spite her. Don't try to be your worst version of yourself and see how she reacts. Don't do tests like that are disrespectful. Do tests that you feel good about, that if she was willing to do or someone else was willing to do to you, that you'd be acceptable with. Wouldn't you want her to see whether she thinks you're the person that she thinks you are and whether you're a valuable, worthy asset to be added onto and to come together? Of course. That's just natural. So don't go beyond that in your reaching out, but do that. Go and talk with her and do things that will force her to see the best you, but not use you. And, you know, you've heard the guys always say this, why buy the cow if the milk's free? Well, girls want different things. I'm speaking very generically here. Speaking very, 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 what are they? I'm speaking very, very, very cliche-like, chauvinistic, whatever. Guys supposedly, on a broad spectrum, if you analyze them and the way they're wired, want a certain thing, and girls supposedly want another thing. If she's willing to try to get you to give her whatever it is that she might need at this time, and not really value you as a person, but just that you're a person taking up space doing this, well, that's a user. If you find that that's what she really is trying to do and keep a buffer between you so that you can only give her what she wants, but there's not a total, true, mirror reciprocal quality, then basically that's probably a good sign that either you have to move her past that and see that you're worth it once you've done your work and you're showing your true self and you've given what you have to give. If she doesn't see you for more, that's a real good sign that she may never see you for more, even if you have more, okay? Very important to think like that. Very important to do these analysis. You know, a good thing that you came to Conscious Counseling 101 because you're going to learn to think consciously. You're going to learn to be counseled just as a friend, like I say, in a way that you can be more aware of what's happening and why. And you can learn by directing inward to yourself, what are the things that she might be feeling based on what are you feeling? You're acting a different way. Maybe she's beautiful. We didn't go to a lot of talking about these things, but you're going to be the best person you can be, not only for her, but for yourself and for everyone in the world that you interact with. Because, man, you ain't worth nothing if you aren't that. So that's what you're going to be. Now, what you want to do is you want to be that. You want to be that with honor and dignity and on a regular basis with everything you do. And people that are worthy of you will present themselves, hopefully, and you will attract them, maybe even. Okay, I know it's hard now because if you don't go out to, where do you go? Various places you go, bars, organizations, work, out in the park. Where do you go? You're not going to meet all these people and find the perfect one. I think girls more than guys maybe think that's the way it is. You're going to meet the perfect one. But I can tell you after 31 years of marriage, there isn't a perfect one. What you're going to do is you're going to bring your best thing to that person. They're going to recognize some positive qualities, whether it be attraction, physical attraction, aesthetic value attraction, the way you talk, the way you're easy to be with, the way you present yourself, the way that you are like-minded about certain things, or opposite, but we find that, you know, that doesn't matter. It's actually an attraction. What matters, what I'm trying to get at is, what you ultimately want to do is just be the most you can be. The most solid, rational, well-founded, structured person. And do what you can to see whether or not this other person sees and values those things. If you do that honorably, if you do that purely and truthfully, and the other person recognizes those things and is meant to also try to show you what they are and want to keep you there, not by training, not by boxing you in, not by just trying to use you for whatever purpose she wants, but because she recognizes those as values, if she doesn't treat them as values with the way she composes herself and the way she relates to you, that's a good sign right now that she may not be qualified to. And how valuable will you be in the long term to a person like that if she's not qualified to see what you are now? You know? So be truthful with this, that's what you portray. Don't do smoke and mirrors and trickery and things like that and be deceptive. Always pretend like the person you're talking with is you, What would you do for your own self? You know, the golden rule, do unto others as you would want done unto you in love, okay? Do that. It's honorable, it's pure, it's of love. It needs to be done. And if there's a connection that is worthy of time, and worthy of her, and worthy of you, and worthy of the circumstances, without codependence, it will come to be seen. And then act on it. You find a treasure in the field, sell everything you have, and buy that field. Then the field and the treasure will be yours. But if you're just interacting with someone that's just using you as another human being, hey, unless you have this contract like I do right now that I'll do it for you just because you ask, hey, you know, other people might not necessarily tell you that straight up like I do, but they might think that they can use people like that without their knowledge. And that's just abuse. You don't want somebody with those kind of dishonorable qualities in your life. You want somebody that, well, like, you can just use me. You don't have to ever talk to me again. I said I'd do this, right? So you don't owe me anything. You've already done all that you need to do. You've asked. I said, ask. I said, I'll do. You've done. You've asked. I've done. We're done. Unless you don't want me to be. If you want me to be a friend and continue talking, I can. But see, other people don't put it up front. The relation between man and woman and all the different nuances of how they're wired and where they come from in their lives and how they view the world and what their religion is and just what they want in their life and just everything is there. But she can't put a poster up like me or an ad and saying, hey, talk to me. I'll talk to you. I'm there for you. No cost. She can't do that. You can't do that. Even if you tried, you couldn't do that because the person is so nuanced. A person is so varied. A person may not even understand consciously all the factors of themselves. So how can they make a sign like that? They can't. But you can go towards that person with what I'm talking about here, with the best possible honorable mentality that you can have consciously, and see if you can pull that out of her. See if you can see if she values that in you. See if you can see that hold up what you have together that's growing. If there's any transitory using type devices or codependence devices or hiding behind smoke and mirrors type of thing, then the chances are the genuine qualities in a lifetime partner aren't going to be there. And no matter how hard you work at a marriage or a long-term relationship one day, if the other person's not willing to also do that, you won't end up married like myself for a long term. You won't end up having this full, rich life. And it is a full, rich life. I mean, it's hard every day. You have to jump over hurdles. But if everything's always on the downslope and there's never a benefit out of it, why would you want to go on that ride? So find out what the ride's like, you know? Find out what the ride's like. And it's great that you're not going over there and having relations with her in that way. That can give you a stimulus that the ride's better than you really think, and you can throw your emotions into it full blast, and before you know it, you've made a determination that was based on feelings or excitement or whatever that really isn't founded in these basic logical things that I'm asking you to consider here today. And I think that I don't want to put this on this obsessive compulsive way of being, but really there needs to be like an interview process, a relation process of some kind, so that we don't just dive into something and find out that not only might it be the wrong type of a person, but the other person doesn't even want to become the right type of a person, or maybe you don't want to become or make the changes you need to become the right type of person. And that is an uphill battle the rest of your life, and that's what you want to use this time where you're not connected and you're not sure, and she's not even saying reciprocally exactly what you're saying. Now's the time to do all that testing and thought process on it. You got nothing to lose. So that would be my first introductory video to you. Maybe I'm on, maybe I'm off, maybe you want to hear what I have to say, maybe you don't. But that's the best that I can do with what I've got to work with today. If you'd like to talk further, be glad to. Same terms apply. There's no cost or obligation. I'm just here to reach out in friendship, positive qualities, as a conscious individual, to share my consciousness with anyone else, and hopefully that benefits the world. And that's why I'm doing this. I'm Paul Roberts. This is Conscious Counseling 101. Best to you.